Hey y'all, it's Brianna and I'm back with another video. Now this video doesn't have anything to do with my lessons in warfare series that I have started, but this is very important. Now, I have prayed and repented for being disobedient for these messages I'm about to drop on y'all from these dreams that I have received over the years. So first and foremost, the reminder is even though I'm making this video, I've been delaying it for my own personal reasons, and delayed obedience is still disobedience. Now we all know back in 2020, that's when everything just turned upside down, and it really hasn't been the same. And during this time, I was reading the scripture, and I was sitting there, kind of just in my thoughts, and I started hear God speak. Stay with me. I don't even know if I said that right. I do that sometimes, speak out of order. But I remember God saying Holocaust. And then I heard concentration camps. And I heard the phrase history repeats itself. And so, as we have seen over these last 5 years, there are things happening that resemble what happened in the Holocaust. And so, one, I was doubting, that I was hearing the right thing. But and that comes from the struggle with my confidence and my spiritual gift, which if you looking at my series, you'll see how I ended up here, but how I'm also putting out these videos to be bold and courageous. So I was hearing that and I was just like, oh my goodness. Like, I was so shocked because it all made sense, and it definitely is all making sense now as it's all playing out. Now the next thing that happened in 22, I remember getting a dream. Oh, I remember getting a dream where it was like I had been taken in, and I was in a line behind this lady, and we were standing next to a bus that we had just gotten off of. And I'm just going to say it. In the dream, I'm pretty sure we were like prisoners, but I don't think we was cuffed and things like that. So the lady was, she was sad. She was crying because she had to, you know, deal with being separated from her son. And she was just saying, I told him to think about the son, to make him happy. And I would assume that that was probably, they did play dates and things like that in the sun, just a sunny day to remind him to stay happy, because quite naturally, a young son, or any son, but especially a young child, would miss their mother. So the lady gets out the line, y'all. She tries to run away and she's immediately shot down. Mind you, this is all the dream that I had. And like I said, she's immediately shot down. So of course I'm just like, oh my God. And the more I stand there though, I'm just like, I don't know if I'm gonna stand here and just wait though for whatever that they about to do or whatever. So then I start running. And then they did start shooting, but it's like I was dodging the bullets. So then in the dream, there's like this large barn. If you ever seen how, the architect of a barn is structured, it was structured like that. But think of that in the size of a warehouse. So this thing got owls, and I'm running up and down different aisles trying to get away from the man that's trying to, shoot me. So then, if I'm remembering right, there was a guy who was running with me, and we getting away, and we going up and down one aisle, got the man on a good little run for a minute. And then I think the guy that was running, that was trying to get away, or it was somebody else who ran when I ran, that were trying to get away, and they were keeping up with me, but then they ended up getting shot down too. So then I'm still running, still running. Eventually, I get hit, and I'm getting hit in like my stomach. I got hit in the stomach, I want to say maybe like twice, but I was still running. I ended up finding this owl that had like this certain like compartment, back door or something, or like a storage, but you know, it was able to hide me basically. And so I got in there to hide from the man, and I think about that point I had woke up. And so what I was getting from that dream was the scripture in Matthew. I think it's chapter 28 or chapter 26. I'm gonna put it in the comments. But I know it's the scripture when God tells us about not being afraid of who can destroy the body, but be afraid who destroys the body and the soul in hell. And so that was a heavy dream. And honestly, y'all, like, I'm sorry, it's 2025, and I know for a fact that dream is 3 years old, and I'm just not sharing it with y'all. But I'm keeping real with you. I was scared as you know what. And I was just like, oh my God, like the way my heart was racing. And I'm going to tell you something. I know when dreams are either spiritually, like spiritual attacks, or heavy warfare, because when I get up from those dreams, y'all, I'll be having the worst headache. I don't know if it's just me, but the headache is like, I can't even, it's like, it'll be dull, but at the same time, it feel like pressure. And probably because if you know, you know. When God gives you the gift to see and you have those dreams, it's literally like a mini TV in your forehead. Like seriously. And so be praised, child. But the pressure, it's like you can feel the weight of the screenplay from your mind. And it just I hate I held on to that so long and I've repented. Because these are things you guys need to know. And the last thing I'm gonna say, now this dream is 2025. I know for a fact I had this dream last year. So this was either a morning before work or a morning I decided to take a mental health day. I wake up that morning and in the dream I'm seeing soldiers. So I'm seeing them and it's like they all, they down the line on the street. And it was like they were here, like where I am, in the way um the street is set up with where I stay. Like the street is, I live in the back of my apartments, and so I hear everything because I'm so close to the road. But it's like a slope when it calms down, and so it's like I remember peeking out my window, and I was able to see soldiers like walking up and down the streets, and so I don't remember all of it, but I remember that part. And I woke up and again I had one of those pressure and headaches. And so I was like, Lord, I don't know what that means, but I take it, you know, I already knew that Raw was coming. Reverse it, you know what I'm saying. And so, y'all, I know people are on the internet constantly saying it, but they're not just saying it for no reason. It's true. Time is ticking. Like a lot of people, I don't care what you believe in. This earth shit is going downhill. There's some things coming to pass where if you wanna make it, you're gonna have to do some things you wouldn't usually do. And we're about to see who really, as one of my spiritual teachers say, my auntie Circle. We about to see who the jellyback Christians is and who really stand up for God because mm-hmm, mm-hmm, that time has come for sure. It's getting stronger and stronger every day. And like I said, I just constantly was thinking about that scripture. Because I think at that time, I was reading Matthew or I was reading that particular scripture or I was hearing it a lot. And so, again, I'm going to put it in the comments, but you really got to focus on this soul. This body that we seeing so many people do so much stuff to, trying to perfect it and trying to do this, like, bro, you need to be worried about the inside you, not the outside you. I ain't saying don't get your health right, because the times that's coming, you definitely gonna need it. But yeah, it's finna get ugly out here, y'all. So I hope y'all listen.